From drinking alcohol every day and his marriage headed straight for divorce to an Ironman athlete and his marriage hotter than ever, what changed? I'll share the answer with you once you hear Cameron's story.
My fitness had got to a stage where I was, probably about 15 kilos overweight and was just doing no exercise. The biggest problem was I was a big drinker and had been for as long as I can remember. Things weren't good with my wife. We were arguing a lot. I was hungover most days. And then because of the situation where it's at, it wasn't pretty or pleasant. I was starting drinking. Two part was one, because it sort of eased the hangover, but two, it sort of drowned out what was going on with my wife. And, I couldn't see any sort of positiveness there. And it just wasn't a good relationship. I knew I was headed for a divorce if I didn't fix myself up, take ownership of what I was doing. It was absolutely inevitable that I was going to be divorced at some stage. My kids, a year ago, were 6 and 8. Boy and a girl, and I just knew that I hadn't given it my best shot, and if it was to fall in divorce, it was just easy to blame her. But I knew deep down that I couldn't put my hand up and say I'd given it a red hot crack. So, and being from a divorced family myself, I know what that's like. So I had to do something. Sitting on the dunny, I was drunk. I just thought it was just like almost one of those light bulb moments that you hear of. So saw the ad from HBF with Al, and it was, like so many people say, it was just what he was saying was just resonating. It was just tick, tick, tick. The next day I went home and I said it to Steph. I just showed her a little bit about what HBF was and said, what do you reckon? And she said, just do it. My experience of HBF so far has been, extremely positive. Well, you can just say life-changing, really, because I've nearly completed 12 months. And I dived right in at the start, put the drinking to one side, and I set myself targets. I was going to go X amount of days without drinking, 30, 60. I think I did 76, which was, like a world record. Exercise and the family life improved out of sight. If you're in a position where if you don't change, if you don't make significant changes to your life and try and level up and be the man that you can be, joining HBF is invaluable. Like for me, I've always just tried to sort it out myself, having the knowledge that's there on HBF, all the guest speakers, all the blokes that are in similar situations to you, just being able to talk to them when you're down or you have a bit of a struggle, someone will reach out and, sort of put a hand around your shoulder and, be available to talk is quite unique, I think, because, we've all got our friends that we can talk to, but, with me, like a lot of my friends are in the same position, we're all big drinkers and we can get on and we can bitch about our wives and, but it doesn't achieve anything. I suppose having the support and being surrounded by people that have put their hand up and said, I need a bit of help to be the man I know I can be. For me, it's just been invaluable. And if you're in that position, fellas, and, I can't recommend it highly enough. The investment, what it costs, I've saved in fucking beer and spirits, like easy, thereabouts. So it's at least paid for itself in that way. So for me, it's a no-brainer.
If you want to know how Cam crushed it, simply look around you, man. Let me ask you, what kind of environment are you surrounding yourself in? Who are the people around you? Do they have what you want? Are you surrounded by a tribe of high-performing men with standards and expectations to support you and lift you up with real accountability to take you to another level? Because that's always the linchpin. That's always the thing that's missing. With good men who've lost their way in isolation within a convoluted world that's full of shit with poor standards. And hey, but no judgment here, man. If people, like the masses, want to live an ordinary, average life and never make anything of it, good for them. But if you're cut from a different cloth and you want your life to actually mean something, if you actually want to matter, then maybe tap the link below and look into HPF a little more and see for yourself who we are and what we do.